I would like to share a few moments in reflection with you on the history and true significance of the video disc program. Machiavelli, in the book The Princes and Discourses, noted there is nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things. Because the innovator has for enemies all those who have done well under the old conditions, and lukewarm defenders in those who may do well under the new. At Videodisc, I believe these words had special significance, for it took daring, creativity, and dedication to have moved to the edges of technology and created the innovative product called Videodisc, often in spite of the system. RCA's commitment to the video disc was originally made from a deeply held conviction that the video disc offered the consumer a truly new medium for having program material available when and how they wanted it. RCA believed in these fundamentals all the way back in the 50s when the work first began on video disc. While there had been a number of systems developed in this same time period, including satellite TV, video cassette recorders, and two-way cable TV, I would classify these developments as incremental rather than radical breakthroughs, which video disc was. We chose the CED system as that which could best meet the mass consumer market by basically aiming for low-cost, high performance, and simple system. The basic criteria for the CED system led us to the use of grooves as a low-cost aid to stylus tracking, both in normal serial play and when radially scanning the disc at speeds faster than normal. The basic criteria for the CED system led us to choose a capacitance readout of the disc as the lowest cost practical approach to both the stylus and the player mechanism. Many years of study and experimentation were required to make the proper choices for the CED system. Pressure, optical and capacitance pickups, grooved and ungrooved disc tracking, electron beam laser and electromechanical mastering, pressing using injection molding, compression injection molding, and compression molding of discs were all evaluated, and the CED system was chosen because it represented the best balance of performance, cost, and quality. Had our marketing objectives been different, for example, a high-performance broadcast playback device, our system's choices would have been completely different. With our mass market objective as the main focus, the CED system choices were really not difficult. The real challenge was the conversion of these system decisions into practical, manufacturable, low-cost products that could be marketed. Each of you, in your own way, provided the ingenuity, creativity, and support to bring the product to market. As you know, it was not enough to do a laboratory demonstration nor 50 prototypes for trade shows. It was not enough to have decided in December of 1978 with laboratory models to really go to market. In January of 1979, there was a reevaluation of the laboratory player and disc, which concluded that a major product redesign would be required to bring the product to market. What took place during the next 2 years was the exciting story called Indianapolis-Rockville Road's development of RCA CED Videodisc system. The player was completely redesigned. New circuitry was added to overcome locked grooves. New disc materials were formulated to give better pictures with reduced dropouts. And a completely new cartridge stylus assembly was created to allow for field replacement and repair. In December of 1979, we demonstrated our new prototype system to the Japanese, and CBS joined us in our great adventure. Manufacturing facilities for the disc, caddy, compound, mastering, cartridge assembly, and player assembly were all in place by the end of December of 1980. In February of 1981, we showed our distributors via satellite that we were ready to come to market, and in March of 1981, we launched the RCA CED Videodisc system in the United States. It was a real struggle to meet the marketing objectives of 100 titles and sufficient numbers of discs for that introduction. None of us at that time knew whether or not we really had a commercially viable product. For the true test does not even start until you've pressed millions of discs, manufactured hundreds of thousands of players, and then sold them to highly critical consumers. Looking back, it was clear that you were successful, since by the end of 1982, more than 5 million discs had been produced and sold. More than 300,000 players had been produced and sold, and the catalog had been expanded to more than 500 titles, representing all major studios. We had achieved a high level of initial consumer satisfaction and were expanding our advertising program to increase consumer awareness of our product. In May of 1982, we introduced stereo, and I might comment that approximately half of the players sold in the latter part of '82 were stereo players. The press also treated us more kindly in 1982, recognizing the continued success we were having in the U.S. market. We learned a lot from 2 years in the marketplace. We learned that the CED Videodisc system could be sold with strong national and local advertising and promotion. The rate of sales had accelerated significantly to the order of $90 million in 1981 and approximately $200 million in '82. We had experienced disc demand far beyond our expectation, with player customers buying discs at between 20 and 30 disc albums per player per year of ownership, more than twice the rate we had predicted. But all was not milk and honey. We learned again what we have always known. No really new product is ever an instant success. No consumer product priced at $500 sells itself. There are no free lunches and no shortcuts. It took a lot of sweat, tears, and money from many participants, including RCA, CBS, other licensees and licensors, wholesale distributors, and thousands of retail dealers to build a momentum for the product in the marketplace. By 1983, we had moved forward, putting another 300,000 to 400,000 CED players in the hands of consumers, along with 6 to 8 million disc albums. By the end of '83, the CED catalog contained over 1,000 titles. In the latter part of 1983, a new random access player was introduced, and we broadened or planned to broaden our product base by entering into international markets. We did, in fact, introduce the CED system in England in 1983. What was for us a unique experience in creating a leading-edge, high-technology product was for RCA a continuing high financial drain on the corporation. What looked to us like an exciting new consumer product market was clearly perceived to be a financial burden to the corporation. Thus, in 1984, the decision was made not to continue. I am sure many of you have questioned, wondered, and felt uncomfortable having invested so much time, energy, and effort only to see the project aborted. But I have to tell you, for myself, I look at it differently. Videodisc for me was a unique experience. It was an opportunity to not only deal on the leading edges of technology, but also on the leading edges of working with people. It was indeed a privilege to have met, worked with, and associated with such high caliber people. For me, the most important thing was all the new friends I made at the Videodisc organization. We did something very unique at Videodisc. We had our blue card, our statement to ourselves for building excellence in our product and in our relationships. It was important to us to develop our extended family relationship, recognizing the uniqueness of each individual, his or her talent, personality, and goals, and to appreciate them. We believed in ethical behavior, mutual respect, trust, and sensitivity to human needs. If I had to point to only one important success at Videodisc Operations at Rockville Road in Indianapolis, it was to develop communications at all levels that were open, honest, and constructive in achieving involvement of all personnel. Well, I've spent a lot of time reviewing for you some of the history that I remember, but the warm, genuine feelings of having worked with friends dominates. I wish you all well and success in all of your new adventures in both work and family relationships for the future, and would greatly appreciate it if you would keep in touch with me and let me know what you're doing. Thank you for letting the captain go water skiing.